Welcome back. Now, South Africa could make a return as a major copper player. This as the country's only listed pure copper producer, Copper 360, delivered the Northern Cape's first copper concentrate in 21 years. The group now plans to bring its second concentrate plant into production to ramp up output even further. Jan Nelson, CEO at Copper 360, joins us now. Jan, an absolute pleasure. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
Oh, wonderful to be with you. Let's talk about this fantastic development. I think there's clearly excitement in the room about it. I'm keen to find out just how much potential lies in this development.
Yes, I mean this is a fantastic achievement, and it's it's the result of our hardworking team. But we recently announced the acquisition of Nama Copper, our neighbor, and their plant, and that has put us in the position to start producing concentrate early. And although it's not a lot of concentrate we produced it, on schedule and at grades that are much higher than we anticipated for commissioning. And the potential is that within the next 3 months, we're going to ramp this up to over 1,000 tons of concentrate, and then we've got a second plant coming online. So, it means that we'll be producing in the next 12 months over 10,000 tons of copper metal. And I think that puts South Africa back on the map as a copper producer, and that's what's so exciting about all of this.
Of course, we know that copper is well positioned for the way in which the world is developing at this rate. Yeah, let's talk about demand and even off-takes here for the copper that you have found, and even the production that you're planning for in the future.
Yes, I think obviously, as the demand now for copper is busy outstripping the supply, and that's why we're seeing this run in the copper price. Excuse me. But what is added to this is obviously infrastructure development and EVs. But what's also now come onto the radar is artificial intelligence and the computing centers and power that is necessary to drive AI. And that requires a lot of copper, which wasn't previously something that was part of the big copper demand. So, that's what's driving the price up. You've seen it go up to $9,700 a ton, and we believe it's going to go to 12,000. In terms of the current dynamics in the market, we have a current offtake agreement. So when our copper leaves the mine gate, it's no longer our responsibility. So, and we get a very good price for the copper. We actually get about 85% of the LME price with transport and costs and all in. So, very good, but we are looking to beneficiate. So we have got a plan to make copper wire and pipe because it's good for South Africa to beneficiate, and then we can make more margin. So that's also on the cards.
That is a very exciting, Jan, and I think it's something that certainly should, be a central part of the mining of the future here in South Africa, that of a beneficiation. I also want to speak about, just looking at the Northern Cape here as a territory that you're operating in. Could there be more there, Jan? Is there incentive to keep looking, for acquisitions and also just to keep exploring in that environment for more copper? Because as you're saying, the grade is impeccable.
Yeah, we've got a plan to target about 1.2 million tons of copper metal within the next year, just from our mining license. And there is much more. The stuff is on surface, it's high grade. And then just in terms of the Northern Cape, our area represents one license area, 19,000 square kilometers. There's other players in the area. I mean, the Northern Cape is one of the biggest manganese manufacturers. Solar is very prominent in the area, and there's the Boegoes Bay deep port development. So, the Northern Cape is going to develop into the next economic center of South Africa. And, we've got one of the largest copper areas in the region, but there certainly is a lot of potential. And I think this will restore South Africa to one of the major copper producers in the world, and that's very exciting.
We have seen your share price also shoot right up on these news, and I'm also keen then to speak about that, how investors have received these news, and also how your balance sheet fares as you do, of course, take advantage of what we know now and the plans for the future.
Yes, I think our shareholders should be happy. The price appreciated. We've had some price manipulation that we've observed over the last few weeks, and we did announce that, and we've taken the appropriate action. We've spoken to the JSE We have reported the incident to the Financial Services Surveillance team. And, it's not that we should focus as a team on the share price. People will buy your share and they'll sell it. And one must understand that and make peace with that. But when people systematically goes and manipulate the price to force it down and get people to sell, that's a criminal offense. So I think we've dealt with that. And I think the fact that we've now announced that the risk, people I think were worried about, can we go into production? Is there a risk they're not going to achieve that? And I think that is now gone. The 2 plants are in production. There's another one coming in, and the risk of that production delivery is gone. And in terms of the balance sheet, within 3 months, these 2 plants should generate almost in excess of 80 million rands of revenue per month. We came from a situation where it was break even 2 months ago. So that's significant for us. And I think the nice thing about that is that we're creating more jobs for the people in the area. And we will use the money to grow even more. We've got to unlock this 1.2 million tons of copper metal out of the ground. And so that will help us to just accelerate our growth even more.
And before I let you go, Jan, you are a South Africa-facing mine. I think investors are also keen to know if there's nothing, domestically happening here with ports, with rail, with energy that could hinder your ability to take full advantage of the opportunities presented to Copper 360 right now.
No, I don't think so. We've got an interesting saying. Our corporate office is based in the Cape, and the operations are in Springbok, and it's about a 6-hour drive. And from here to there's not one pothole in the road that I drive to the mine, which tells you something about the good infrastructure we have. Eskom, is a bit of a problem, but I think South Africans have been resilient. We've all just moved to solar. Eskom is still the cheapest, so we've resolved that problem. Infrastructure is good. We've had very good support from the DMR, very good support from the banks, very good support from the JSE. And I just think South Africa is the greatest place to do business in. And I can tell you now that there's no other mine on Africa's continent that can compete with us in terms of cost and production, in terms of our resources. And then I think the winning or the ace is the South Africans that work for us. There's nobody that can beat us in terms of resilience. So this is the best place to be.
Brilliant, Jan. A pleasure speaking to you, and looking forward to hearing more about the wonderful developments at Copper 360. Thank you for your time. That was Copper 360 CEO, Jan Nelson.